Namaste and good morning. I am Krishna Bhargavi, working as Assistant Professor in the Department of CSE GRIET. In today's video, let us discuss about the extended ER features. The learning objectives of today's session are: we'll be identifying the different extended ER features. We'll also understand the constraints that are applicable on these ER features, and also elaborate the necessity of aggregation, which is an extended ER feature. So the extended ER features are basically classified into class hierarchies and aggregation. Class hierarchies are again classified into specialization and generalization. Coming to the first extended feature called class hierarchy, which includes specialization and generalization. So specialization is the process of identifying the subsets of an entity set that share some distinguishing features. For example, for specialization is, if you consider employees as an entity. Employees will have the SSN social security number, name, and the place where he is working. But along with this, they will also have some distinguishing features depending upon the nature of their work. First, suppose if the employee is an hourly employee. So an hourly employee is also an employee. So hourly employee will also have SSN, name, and a lot. But along with these three attributes, the hourly employee will also have some distinguishing features. So number of hours worked by that employee and what are the wages or remuneration paid to that employee based upon the number of works. Similarly, there could be another class of employees called as contract employees who will be working only for a certain tenure of period. So here, in the process of specialization, first identify the super entity or the super class, and then identify the attributes that we have. From these attributes, identify the distinguishing characteristics and then put them into separate subclasses for which you will be providing the distinguishing features. The reverse process of specialization is called as generalization. So here, first we identify the sub-entities like hourly employees and contract employees. So for these hourly and contract employees, we have certain attributes which will be in common. So these common attributes will be identified in the second step, and those common attributes will be attached to a super entity which is called as the superclass. So here hourly employees and contract employees will be there, from which the common attributes are identified, and using these common characteristics you are getting the superclass. So the reverse process of specialization is called as generalization. And here in ER diagram, the specialization or generalization both will be represented by making use of a triangle with is a relationship. So what do you mean by this is a relationship? Hourly employee is an employee. Contract employee is also an employee. So is a relationship which will be indicating the specialization or generalization. So as I said in the earlier sessions that based upon these extended features, we have constraints to be provided. So what are those two constraints? We have overlap constraints and covering constraints. So here the overlap constraints will determine whether two subclasses are allowed to contain the same entity. For suppose if I consider myself Bhargavi, can I be both an hourly employee as well as a contract employee belonging to the same organization? It is no. Either I can be an hourly employee or I can be an contract employee. But consider one more is a relationship from these employees, senior employees and freshers. So then if there is another class from this, now can you consider Bhargavi to be a senior employee and a contract employee? Obviously, yes. So the contract employees can be senior employees or can be freshers. So here, if you have certain overlapping features or overlapping entities among different classes will be representing that using these overlap constraints. So contract employees overlaps the senior employees. So what does this mean? The employees who are working on contract basis can also be senior employees. The same entity can be available in these two entity sets. Okay, so then moving on to the covering constraints. So here coming to the covering constraints, these will determine whether the entities in the subclass include collectively all entities in the superclass. So here what do you mean by this? So if I consider these two subclasses which are hourly employees and contract employees, these are two entity sets under this employees entity set. So if I consider all the employees under hourly employees as well under contract employees, if we combine these two entities, will they be available as the total number of entities in the employees entity set? Yes or no? I am repeating the same question. The number of entities shared by the hourly employees and contract employees, if we add them up, will the number of entities in these two collectively will be the number of employees in the employees entity set? Yes, the answer is yes. Why? The employee, you are only saying that he can be either an hourly employee or a contract employee. So in that case, these do not share any employee. They are mutually exclusive. So if we perform an union operation between hourly employee and contract employee, obviously that will be the total number of employees in an organization. And to represent this, we will represent like hourly employees and contract employees cover employee. So where do we represent these two constraints? So when you are pictorially representing your ER diagrams, you will have to write these either at top right corner or bottom left corner of your pictorial representation. Then the next extended ER feature is aggregation. And this aggregation helps us in associating one relationship set to another relationship set. So now, if we wanted to depict the employees who are monitoring different projects that are sponsored by the departments, so we may be thinking this as a ternary relationship also, because the employees here may be monitoring the projects and the employees are working in the departments. But here if you observe, I am repeating the question, the employees monitors the projects that are sponsored by the departments. So what we will have to do, you should, being an employee, you should even monitor the projects as well as the departments. So now in this case, to represent such kind of things, we will be making use of aggregation. So please observe here, the projects is having project ID, the started date and the budget allocated for the project. So among these three, you can uniquely identify a project by its ID. Then we have departments, the department ID, department name and the budget allocated to the department, and uniquely you can identify this using the department ID. So now the projects are sponsored by the department. So you have a relationship called as sponsors. From which date have you sponsoring the project? So that is represented here using since as the descriptive attribute. Then the employees have to monitor this entire activity, not just projects, not just departments. You have to monitor the entire activity. So here we are considering employees, a relationship called monitors, which is monitoring the sponsors relationship. So here, are you connecting monitors to the sponsors? Yes, but instead of directly connecting this, we wanted to depict this as an activity being connected. So that is the reason why we are aggregating the complete process or the complete entity and their relationship into an aggregated value. This aggregation is represented in ER model with dotted rectangle. So here, what is the aggregation? Monitors is the aggregation relationship, because monitors is the one which is connecting with sponsors relationship set. So I hope that you understood what are the different extended ER features. What do you mean by specialization and generalization? The covering and overlap constraints that are applicable only for these class hierarchies, and the concept of aggregation and when to use it. Again, I repeat, the symbols that we use for class hierarchies is a triangle with is a relationship. The representation for aggregation is a dotted rectangle which will aggregate the entire activity performed between different entities along with its relationship set. Hope you understood the different extended ER features. Thank you.